Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable. You know, we've been running these roundtables for a long time, and our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. And this is our 98th roundtable. We have one more next week, and then we're going to have our big celebration of the 100th roundtable, which is coming up very soon on October 6th. You know, I read as I was looking through the slides that were sent in by the presenters before the show today, I saw something which caught my eye, and that was a comment on Gerard's slide, who's going to be presenting today from Ireland. Gerard says 1,110 or 1,100 SMEs go out of business every day in the United Kingdom. This is a very significant infant mortality rate. And this is not an unusual number, by the way. We have similar numbers in the US. We have about 600,000 businesses go out of business. Companies go out of business every year. That's roughly, you know, a couple a day, I guess. But this 1,100 going out of business a day seems like a very exorbitant number. So anyway, that's a very depressing note, and I brought it up because one of the reasons we started, or one of the missions which we started 1 million by 1 million, was to reduce this colossal infant entrepreneur mortality, as we call it, around the world. So we want you to learn what is involved, what are the best practices involved in building a company, and not make these common mistakes. There are lots of common mistakes that people are making every time, every day, everywhere. And there are ways to check that. There are ways to do the right thing in the right sequence. And that's what this whole program is all about. So we are recording this show, and you would have access to it after the show. You can use it for your own reference. You can use it, you can share it with other people. If you're live tweeting the show, please use the hashtag 1M1M, and Maureen will be live tweeting the show from the 1M by 1M account, Twitter account. And if you want her to retweet something, just bring your tweet to her attention, and she will retweet it. We're going to start with Jade Magnet today. Sitash and Manik are dialing in from Bangalore, India, and they're going to tell us about the Jade Market business. So, guys, if you could unmute yourselves and tell us what you've got, that'd be great.
Great. Thank you so much, Sramana. Can you hear us now?
Yep, I hear you fine.
Excellent. So, okay, we'll start with the slides itself. And as you can see, that so this is Sitash talking right now, and then we'll have Manik speak. Jade Magnet is a platform for it's a crowdsourcing platform for end-to-end creative solutions, which small and medium businesses can use for their support of their marketing and advertising activities. And today we have about 4,000 plus providers on the platform. These providers are freelancers and designers, moonlighters, small agencies, some mid-sized agencies as well. Up to about 15 odd people in size. The companies are there as well. They are into design, a little bit of technology. Some are into development of applications as well. But primarily the focus of the platform is on design and usability issues that SMEs face more often than not.
Okay.
So far, so we started off about 2 years ago. In fact, we'll complete our 2 years of commercial business this next month. And the platform has been used by 400 customers so far, 400 small and medium businesses so far in India, Middle East, US, Singapore, and Australia largely. And there are a few of our customers also coming from geographies like UK.
Okay. And what can you talk a little bit about business model and size of business and all that? What are you seeing, or is that coming up in the later on in the presentation?
So there is one slide which talks about the current status of the platform, but let me just touch upon the business model because that's probably more important starting off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a typical marketplace model wherein we allow clients or businesses looking for creative solutions to post projects on jademagnet.com, wherein they are presented with forms which they can fill to, let's say, they may want an animation to be done, a viral animation to be created, or a concept demo to be created for their business.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go on the platform and post the project. They can post a brief for the same, and then there will be providers, animators, illustrators, storyboard artists, designers who can then come back with their ideas of the solution. Based on the best of the solutions available, the client can shortlist and then work with the selected provider. And this particular solution is then, it's pretty much scalable to all kinds of, various kinds of creative work. I wouldn't say all, but we've been able to deliver stuff like websites, basic websites. We've been able to deliver mobile applications.
I got that. What I was asking is it a, how do people get paid? How does the money flow in the system? Is it and how do you make money? Is it a listing fee model, or is it a percentage of the project kind of model? What is the business model, pricing model,
Sure.
etc.?
Yep. The pricing model is that the platform sets a minimum price that the client will have to pay based on the kind of project.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, if you're going to use the platform for a logo design project, you need to pay at least $160. If you want to use the platform for a website, you need to pay at least $400, stuff like that. And then it's a pure commission-based model, wherein Jade Magnet gets 20% of the budget that the client has decided. Mm-hmm. The budget beyond the minimum is up to the client to decide.
Okay.
Jade Magnet gets 20%, and the selected provider gets 80%.
Yeah.
The client also, has the option of paying upfront.
Mm-hmm.
The client is free to make a full payment upfront, in which case the money will rest in an escrow account, and then Jade Magnet disburses the amount to the provider whose work is used by the client.
Okay. Got it.
So that's largely the commercial.
It's a percentage of the project.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how this part works. And we've seen overall in the last 2 years or so, we've done about 800 odd projects, and on an average, the platform has seen the cost of a project to be in the range of $500 to $550.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people are paying across various kinds of projects so far.
Okay.
In terms of traction, we are doing about $50,000 of platform sales a month now. As of last month. And
but does it mean platform sales? Are you actually white labeling this platform to other people, and that's what you call platform sales?
So no, platform sales is the cost of a project into the number of projects posted every month.
Okay.
White labeling, that's a simple bit. White labeling is just a way for us to expand our presence, wherein we are open to allow
people. So the business that is being conducted on your platform.
Correct.
Okay.
It is a business that is being conducted.
Because platform sales, by the way, from an industry terminology point of view, platform sales sounds like you're selling your platform as a technology to other companies.
Okay. That's good feedback. In fact, that is also a part of the model. That's a part of our expansion model, not so much the regular business model, but that is one of the ways we are, sort of going ahead and trying to expand into different geographies. We are doing local tie-ups with companies and organizations which have good presence in various markets. Let's say, for instance, the Middle Eastern market. Mm-hmm. To expand into a geography like Dubai and Qatar, you need local partners. And what we're doing is that we are white labeling the platform for them. Okay. And they will be, in turn, selling Jade Magnet to their customers. So Jade Magnet will basically become a huge delivery platform for creative services with, multiple front ends. based on different kinds of markets, which could be culturally different, geographically different, vertically different. So that's one of the ways we are expanding, and we'll touch upon that in one of the other slides as well.
Okay.
Okay. So if we could move on to maybe the next, the second slide, which is the customer acquisition slide.
The previous
is that
slide.
before or after this one?
Yeah.
After this one?
No, before this one.
Before
the validation slide, which is No. Before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the slide largely talks about the acquisition plan to reach out to a larger audience. Besides doing the inbound marketing like SEO, social marketing, or tying up with various ad networks, the idea is also to be present offline and build a larger brand through participation in various events. We are in the process of tying up with various SME networks and associations to reach out to a larger scale, because a lot of these SME networks and associations already have a huge audience with them. White labeling is another way which Sutash already mentioned about, which is also very relevant from the fact that it helps us localize the platform to that specific geography. So if we are in Middle East, the idea of white label is to make it more Middle East centric rather than just have projects running from India or US on top of it. In geographies which are more customer centric and which involves a lot more physical touch, we are also building up a layer of independent account managers. These are people who are not on the payroll but are largely selling complementary solutions. So maybe a guy like somebody who is more like a printer or a marketing consultant who is anyways providing services which are very relevant to design but not in their specific field can also pick up work which is design centric and use Jade Magnet as a platform, as a virtual delivery arm for them to deliver it. So these are some of the modes in which we are trying right now to acquire more customers across the globe.
So let me give you some feedback on the customer acquisition. I think the partnership with white label partnership with some of the networks who have SME reach in different geographies is an interesting one. So one of the things that I'm going to point you to, if you go to the 1M website, there's a bunch of discussion on Twitter and social media.
Okay.
And you will see there how we run our Twitter strategy. Social media is perfect for what you're doing, actually, because a very large number of tech-savvy entrepreneurs are on social media. And if you decide to work with 1 million by 1 million, for instance, in the premium program, we would let you use our channel to market as well. We have other companies in the program who are catering to SMEs, and we are very happy to let all our premium companies market to the SME customer base. So that's, we fall in the same category as your other networks and associations that cater to SME. So that's something that we don't need to white label anything. We'll just let you market it to our customer base.
Awesome. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are, some of my pointers is, I think you should, those are two ideas that I like. One is this SME networks and associations idea, whether it's white labeling or it's just regular, good old partnership of some kind. Those are two ideas that I like. And the other idea is the social media idea, which we run a very, I don't know if you follow us on Twitter. We have a very, very active Twitter channel, and it's working very well for us. We are able to reach people in every part of the world. As I was saying before we started the show today, we can work. Every session we have people from completely different parts of the world, and with a tiny company. We are, just like you, we are a tiny company, and we are able to do this global marketing almost exclusively because of social media marketing and internet marketing. So that's just a validation of what is possible if you do that right. And the pointer that I just gave you is that there's a couple of presentations on how we run our Twitter strategy, and you can learn from that, and you can, both replicate that for yourselves, and also you can, if you decide to join the premium program, you can also use our Twitter channel, which is a very well regarded Twitter channel.
Great.
Other than that, I am not convinced about your event sponsorship idea. What events are you going to sponsor where you're going to get sufficient number of customers? SME customers are not easy to get to. And event sponsorship is just not the way to get to this customer base. So I would not waste money on that.
All right, Sramana. So yeah, I mean, the thought that we had was more around the fact that in certain markets, brand building is one activity which sort of inculcates a little bit of trust in your customer base. Of course, that has to be backed by great service and constant engagement. But looking at events was largely for two reasons. One was that crowdsourcing itself is a relatively, I wouldn't say recent, but in terms of its popularity in the last 2-3 years, it has gained a lot of prominence. So a lot of people want to see what all companies are there in the crowdsourcing space, and they are getting good post-event media coverage, pre-event coverage and post-event coverage, and in the area of
but the way to do that, those are expensive, and you're going to have to travel to those events and stuff. If you have the budget for that, that's you can do it. But there's a much easier way to do to get in the middle of that coverage, which is through guerrilla PR.
Sure. Okay.
There's a wide number of PR platforms that would cover you. If you have a good story, you have a decent story. There is a lot of competition, by the way. The space that you're working on, specifically the creative marketplace space, crowdsourced creative marketplace space, there's a lot of competitors. In the international market, there are a lot of competitors. So you have to figure out how you compete in that market. What is the differentiation? What is your positioning vis-a-vis those companies and so forth? But you can get coverage just by by using the PR channels. So if you do events, I'm not saying you shouldn't do events. If you do events very selectively, and make sure you don't blow a lot of money on events, which the same objective could potentially be acquired by other means as well.
Point taken. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Okay, and what is your revenue level right now?
Like I said, our platform transactions on a monthly basis is currently at $50,000. 50.
Monthly $15,000. You do $15,000 worth of business on the platform.
50.
$50,000. Okay. And what percentage do you take? 10 or 20? I can't remember what you said.
So no, yeah, right now our percentage is in the range of 25% of that.
So that is a bit of a, I think that pricing model is going to have question marks because, Odesk, for instance, which has exactly the same business model as yours, it's a broader platform. It's not creative only, but there are plenty of creative professionals. We use Odesk extensively to hire freelance resources. They charge 10%. So what is the case? How do you defend your 25% commission?
Yeah. So what happens is that Odesk is, platforms like Odesk or in Elance, they are a matchmaking platform. They will help you find a freelancer who will be ready to work for you, right? It's basically an online tendering system and matchmaking system. But a platform like Jade Magnet per se is a solution delivery platform. You don't really have to worry which freelancer will deliver the right solution for you as long as you get what you're looking for. So that's something Jade Magnet works on. The other thing with Jade Magnet is that, platforms like Odesk and Elance, again, they are not a part of the project once you begin working with the freelancers. But Jade Magnet, for a small price, can actually act as a delivery assurance platform for you. We have a delivery assurance framework where, a common pain with a lot of other platforms that clients see is that once projects start, for a number of such projects, the freelancers to begin with may deliver according to expectations, but later on, the project goes awry because of various reasons. The freelancer may become busy with some other work. There may be some medical issues, some
Yeah, no, I
infrastructural
understand. I
problems.
think the value proposition, the way I would put the value proposition of what you're saying is, you ask for a bid. You don't only ask for a bid, you actually see samples of work and you select samples of completed work and you select whichever one you like the most, and that provider gets paid. So it's a different value proposition for which you could charge a higher percentage fee. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
So the next slide is on current status. There was one question on the validation of the concept. So yeah, that's what we've done in the last 2 years. Our time has been largely spent on validating the concept of creative crowdsourcing and across various kinds of markets, various kinds of customer types, various geographies. And this is just some data that's been, that we could cull out from that for this particular presentation.
That's great.
Okay. We can actually. All right. Next slide would be
more on the challenges and the questions that we thought we'll ask you. One was the scalability. I mean, you've already kind of answered some bit of it.
I've talked about already. Scalability you can handle.
Yeah.
I think we are very experienced with handling these kinds of scalability issues. We can definitely help you with the scalability issue.
Okay, great. So maybe we can take it after the call. And the other thing was more from the delivery assurance, which Siddharth has already mentioned. Though it does hamper a little bit of the automation of the process, the entire model. But we just wanted to hear your views in terms of whether keeping a delivery assurance model is as scalable as just having a Odesk model, if I say.
Well, your model is not exactly Odesk, right? I think the way you're justifying the 25% fee versus the 10% fee in Odesk is by saying that you are going to have a selection of deliverables from different vendors, right? So if I'm looking for a logo, there are 5 vendors who are designing my logo, and I can see whose work I like the most and then pay for that person's work. So by definition, to justify your 25% fee, you are going to have to make sure that there is at least a selection of the deliverables for that particular customer. It is part of your, it's already built into your business model. You have to provide delivery assurance to justify the higher pricing.
Sure. Yeah. Point taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
It's a good business, and I think it's still, yes, there's competition. There are companies that are doing very well in that field and so forth, but there's a very large international market still to be tapped into. There are going to be 5 billion people on the internet by 2020. So this decade, a lot of these crowdsourcing companies, it's a major trend. Crowdsourcing is a major trend right now. A lot of these crowdsourcing companies are going to do very well. So your timing is good, and we'll definitely be able to hang on. Later on in the show, I'm going to talk about how we work, the 1 million by 1 million program, how we work with our premium members and what kind of value we provide. And you can ask questions after that segment. But let me work with the other entrepreneurs first.
Sure. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for.
Sure. Okay, the next person, according to the slides, is Udit. Now, Udit was not on the call when we started. Is he on the call now? No?
Sramana, no. He's not on the call. I think he's sick, so.
He is sick, I see. Okay. Okay, then we're going to skip forward to Gerard. Gerard, if you could unmute your line and come on and tell us what you're doing. And folks, Gerard just introduced himself before the show and we were talking. He is part of
Hello?
Hi, Gerard. Just a second. I was just introducing you and you're He's working in an incubator in Dublin, Ireland, and it's a digital hub. Lots of entrepreneurs are working together, and it's a case in point in how much distributed entrepreneurship is happening around the world today. So go ahead, Gerard. The floor is yours.
Yeah, hi, I'm Gerard. I'm from Dublin, and well, we see a massive problem now. Your business is losing money every second, and you don't even know it. Finding customers for your business today is a horrible and outdated process. What I mean by this is Google AdWords was invented in 2000. It came out then, and it's still the standard. But with social media, we think there can be something more. With the advent of real-time social media, why are we still relying on it? Now, if we look up here, we see a small little example. Now, this person says, I want to go to Walmart and buy so much mascara tomorrow. Now, this was an opportunity for different companies. Now, Walmart did not see this comment. Now, they're most likely going to get the business anyway from it. But what if a competitor saw it? What if a competitor came in and says, oh, well, we could give you a 10% discount if you'd like to try our brand? They could have made a sale. That's a potential lead and a potential customer right there. So can we go on to the next slide, please? So who is our customer? And our customer is any business online that wants to find customers right now. The way we envision this is a companion with Google AdWords and the various other marketing techniques. So the value proposition is cheap, relevant customers for your business. Now what we really need to do is abstract it down, and we believe we've got it to almost 3 simple clicks to find and contact a new customer. So step 1, you type your product or service into a search bar and select your location. Step 2, we return customers in real time minus the contact details that need your product and service. So you can see exactly what they're saying, and you can see yourself if there's a lead here. Step 3, you buy the customer details. We're talking maybe 50 cents to €1 perhaps per customer. And we tell you exactly what their LinkedIn, what their Twitter, what their Facebook status is, what their email address is, phone if we can find it. And we tell you the correct method to contact them on. So say, for instance, if you're selling an accounting service, you'd most likely want to contact the customer through LinkedIn. Whereas, if in the previous example you're selling mascara, then Facebook could be a very, very good method to contact them. And finally, we can automate this. Similar to AdWords, you would select a budget for the day, say perhaps €10, and we would find and contact the customers for you. And of course, you'd be able to put in exactly the type of customer and whereabouts and that sort of thing. So can you go to the next slide, please?
Just a second before you go on, let me drill down a bit. So somebody who's looking for a mascara, that lead has a very different value than somebody who's looking for an accounting service.
Yeah, they would. So what we were considering is we haven't really got the pricing model at the moment, so we were considering maybe 15 to 50 cents per perhaps, or we could do it by product, perhaps, and
so
differentiate.
Therein lies the fallacy of your of what you say on this slide. Under no circumstance should any business ever say our customer is any business that is online and wants to find customers right now. This is completely contrary to the 1 million by 1 million philosophy. Okay? We have a mantra. If you go through all the training material that we are going to point you to with respect to positioning, one of the mantras that we are going to absolutely drive home for you is spray and pray is not acceptable. Do not spray and pray.
Yeah.
So the moment you say our customer is any business that is online and wants to find customers, you are spraying and praying, and that is not acceptable. So you haven't done segmentation, you have to do segmentation. All right, let's go on.
Okay. So the customer analysis, so we'll omit the first line. We say we really want to make it very simple for small, medium businesses to find new customers. And as you were saying at the start, over 1,100 went out of business in the UK alone.
Are you sure that number is accurate? That sounds too high.
Oh yeah, I have a look on the Daily Telegraph and that sort of stuff, and the Irish Times and that seemed to be around about the number that they were giving anyway. And it could be slightly less, perhaps, but
I'm not sure if that's accurate, but anyway, moot point. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, and the value proposition is that each person needs and wants things all the time, and as the very start showed, they're not really afraid to say it on social media. And most companies, including very large ones, cannot cope with the mountains of real-time user-created data that is being generated. And it's the way I see it is it's the equivalent of having a physical customer who needs your product right now, but they're 2 states over. You'll never be able to find them. And this was actually one of my questions for the end. Can we go to the next slide, please? The customer acquisition strategy. So most small business, they're not tech savvy and they're not good at finding customers online or contacting them. And they shouldn't have to be. It's not what they do. And it's far too hard for most of them to set up and run an internet marketing campaign, though most desperately need more clients. So what we were trying to do is abstract it down, as I was saying in the example, the search engine, where you just type in what your product is and where you're from. And our customer acquisition strategy will consist of using our own engine to find our customers. So we will pursue many avenues such as LinkedIn for the business professionals, Facebook for people who have e-commerce storefronts, and Twitter for the people who just push their product at people. Although we would certainly be open to suggestions.
So the first thing I want you to do is find the segments to work with. This is way too broad. As I said, it's far too broad. You're going to need to position this company, and you're trying to be a marketing services company, but all the details below that layer are TBD. Nothing is figured out, and until you tighten your segmentation and to figure out exactly where do you want to work with e-commerce companies as your primary customer base. Okay, that's a segment. Maybe within that, you want to do some segmentation on specific types of e-commerce company, because even within e-commerce, there are many, many different segments. Or you want to work with B2B, small SME services companies, or SME products companies, SaaS companies. And somewhere you have to do some level of segmentation. This is way too broad and it's not going to work.
Okay. So can we go to the next slide, please? Well, the customer validation work that we completed, it's only very small, but we set up a landing page at the vendagclients.com that gives a basic description of the product. We set up €100 of Google AdWords credit, and we had the 65 sign-ups. And I've worked in the small businesses for about 13 years, and I think that may be the segment to go into. Businesses, perhaps services, as in accounting and soliciting and that sort of stuff. And we illustrated our idea to them, and they said if it's very, very simple and easy to use, then they would certainly consider it. So we have a back end.
So let me understand the validation process. You have done some sort of a Google AdWords advertising to find customers who have €100 Google AdWords credit, and within 3 days you got 65 signups. And these are small businesses with €100 Google AdWords credit. And what have you done for them with that?
With that, well, we put the €100 Google AdWords credit, and they clicked the links down the side and came into our page and signed up.
What have you done with those signups? The customers that you generated from that, what does that mean? I mean, that doesn't validate anything, right? That validates that you know how to use Google AdWords. That's not rocket science. A lot of people do know how to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's just that they came in and they read what they saw on the page, and we gave a basic description, and they entered their name, their email address, and if they had any comments.
And did you call them back? Did you call them back and talk to them?
Yeah, we emailed a few of them, and we got various responses. mainly that it has to be very, very simple and easy to use and abstract away all the difficulties that they're having at the moment.
Yeah, Gerard, this thing needs to be, one of the analogies, I'll tell you what analogy comes to my mind. Building a business is like a sculpture. You have to chisel it. You start with this kind of big abstract block of stone, and you have to chisel. You have to, in some cases, you have to take big chips off, big pieces of stone off for the sculpture to come alive. And in some cases, you're going to have to take, small instruments and chisel out the nuances and the details of the business. So what you have right now is a very rough, large block of stone, which has a very rough idea of what's going to happen to it. You're going to have to apply methodology to really extract the true business out of this. So your sculpture, even Michelangelo's David is going to come out of this once you apply the right methodology and the right process in figuring out the details of it. What segment are you going to go after? What is the value proposition? What is the pricing model? What is the business model? What is the pricing model? There's lots of nuances to this that you're going to have to work on. And there is a very definitive validation methodology that you're going to have to apply to this. Right now, your validation is way too sketchy to prove anything.
Yeah. Okay. Like this was primarily we were doing work now up in the digital hub of how to process real-time information, and this is an idea we had for it. Again, question one is the target market the right choice? Which of course we discovered that with
you don't have a target market yet. As I told you, you have not identified your target market yet. You have to do some work to identify your target market. I can help you figure out what the target market choice is and what are the decision points in that, but you have not yet identified the target market.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first question there was we can license it as an API for corporate clients for their business to combine the data they already have with the social media streams coming in.
That is a very different business. Again, if you want to go that route, that is a completely different business. And you need to be able to do enterprise selling for that and so on and so forth. So the competitive landscape around that is extremely different. It's entirely different from what you were talking about in catering to the SME customer. So look, you are really all over the place right now. We need to pare this down into something that is executable. And there's a tremendous amount of work that you still need to do on that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so why don't you hang on? I'm going to explain to you how to work with 1 million by 1 million. If you decide you want to work with 1 million by 1 million, we will help you do all these things. This is exactly what we do. We help people like you who don't have a lot of experience in bringing a product to market. We help you learn that process, and you will be able to do it. There is no question in my mind that you will be able to do it. You just need the right framework using which you do that process. So
okay, thanks.
Let me explain to you how to leverage what we have here. So folks, what I'm going to do right now is actually explain to you how to work with 1 million by 1 million. That's going to be one segment. It's going to take me about 10 minutes to do that. After that, I want to also spend 5-10 minutes talking to the group that has assembled in Calcutta. And that's a group that's doing a meetup around 1 million by 1 million today. And I would love to brainstorm with you a bit about entrepreneurship development in Calcutta. And this is something that I would like to do on a regular basis. Is all the people who are doing meetups in different parts of the world at different times would like to brainstorm with you on what's happening in your geography and how we can help you, enhance your efforts, how we can supplement your efforts to make the entrepreneurship development strategy stronger and execution more powerful. So let's talk about the program and what we bring to you, and that will help you understand how to leverage it. So in terms of the absolute base level resources, this is, the blog that we have, sramanamitra.com is the location of the blog. It's entirely free. We have a tremendous number of case studies and, industry trend information, discussions with thought leaders. Hundreds of thought leaders come onto this platform to share their ideas, share their success factors with you. So, and this entire resource is free. You're welcome to use it anytime from anywhere in the world. What really I find very encouraging is that I get messages from places as far as Zambia. There was somebody who wrote to me recently on my Facebook page from Zambia and said that it's really wonderful that we can use all these resources, all these case studies that you're offering on the blog from a place as far away as Zambia. And that's pretty much what summarizes what we are trying to do, is really take the tribal knowledge that we have accumulated in Silicon Valley and in other parts of the world where we have seen successful entrepreneurship, and we've tried to capture all that and make it available to you. So the case studies on the blog is one way to access that. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series is another way to access that material. There are 4 volumes of Entrepreneur Journeys. Volume 2 is Bootstrapping, Weapon of Mass Reconstruction. Volume 3 is Positioning, How to Test, Validate, and Bring Your Idea to Market. And Volume 4 is Innovation, Need of the Hour. All these books are available from Amazon, Kindle, and in India from Flipkart. And Amazon and Kindle sells worldwide. They have specific sites for UK and Germany and some other European places. And the reason this is effective for those of you who are trying to get into this material and get into our methodology at a slightly less expensive level than the premium program, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have 2 cornerstone philosophies. One is bootstrapping, extensive bootstrapping and really lean capital efficient startups. And we have covered that in Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 2. And in Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 3, we've covered positioning, which is one of our absolute core mantras. As I said, do not spray and pray. You have to take advantage of laser sharp positioning to be able to bootstrap an operation. Bootstrapping only works if you're extremely focused and your positioning work is extremely well done. So right now we just saw Gerard's venture, which is not positioned at all. And we have to, positioning is that chiseling that I talked about. That sculpture, that Michelangelo's David is going to come alive in your hands only if you do the positioning right. And that is something, positioning somehow, by the way, is not a discipline that is well understood anywhere. Even in Silicon Valley, I did a decade of strategy consulting. I would say the maximum money I have made, and I've made a lot of money on positioning projects. Even companies that raised $45 million of venture capital did not have a good handle on positioning. I've done turnarounds of $100 million business units just by adjusting their positioning to address the right market, the right segment, the right problems. So it's a positioning is a very, very powerful discipline. And the 1 million by 1 million program does a very thorough job of positioning. It's one of our big expertises, and it's something that we emphasize very, very big time. So that's where the blog is. On your screen is the URL for the blog. Also, these strategy roundtables are available every week. So every week, religiously on Thursday mornings, we are here at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and that's 8:30 p.m. in India. And you can derive the respective time zones out of that 8 a.m. Pacific time number. We spend the time here working with you, working with your ventures. You got a flavor of some of the companies that we worked with today. Typically, we do somewhere between 3 to 5 companies per session normally. Today we had a cancellation because the guy was sick, which is too bad because we had other people who wanted to be on the show, and I wanted to reserve some time to talk to the folks in Calcutta as well. So we are here. You can come here, discuss your ventures with us, discuss any aspect of your business, whether it's positioning, whether it's pricing, your business model, your customer acquisition issues, whatever issue that you're having difficulty with. You can come here and discuss, and this also is free. Then we have the premium program. In the premium program, we teach you the full methodology of how to bring a product to market, how to bring a startup to market. And this methodology is lean, capital efficient startups. We have a curriculum that is a composition of video lectures and case studies. We do a lot of business development work. So we introduce you to customers, we introduce you to channel partners, we allow you to use our channels to market your product. So if you're looking for an SME customer base, we have a very good channel into the SME customers. That's something we allow you to use. If you're doing enterprise sales, I'll talk about a specific relationship we have, and we can give you more of those. Basically, we bring you, in some cases where you're doing enterprise selling, we bring you into our channel partnerships through which you can go to market. We provide you these kinds of sessions in private, members-only formats. If you're looking for a private session, if you're looking for less public framework where your recordings are not published to the rest of the world and stuff like that, that's our private strategy roundtables. That's all part of the premium program. And we help you with financing. I'm dealing with multiple financings right now. We have closed financings. So it's something that we do on a daily basis. So that's the crux of the premium program. By the way, we also have very significant PR channels. So whether it's media relationships, whether it's social media relationships, social media channels, we have an extensive analyst relationships. I am considered a very well-known analyst in this industry. So all this is available to the premium members to leverage as you need to, and I will step you through a few case studies of the kinds of things we are doing. Now, one page I would like to point you to in the 1 million by 1 million site is the self-assessment. We strongly encourage you to do the 1 million by 1 million self-assessment. It's about 9 broad genres of questions, and I would like you to ask those questions and try to answer them. And wherever you see that you have gaps, you can actually, if you are a premium member, you can access the curriculum module that goes along with that particular question area, and you can plug your gaps in that specific topic, on this specific topic. So all that is on 1m1m.sramanamitra.com. That's the homepage of the premium program. Now, if you go to the top right corner of this page, there are 2 buttons. One is premium program, the other is FAQ. If you click on the premium program button, you will have a complete description of what you can expect from the premium program, and the FAQs also answer some of your questions. Remember, the methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startup. So if you come to me without doing any of that early bootstrapping, or without being willing to do some of that early bootstrapping and say that, oh, tomorrow I need to raise $5 million. Well, chances are you haven't done the groundwork to qualify for a $5 million financing, and that's not going to work. So we would require that you make the mental adjustment that you're going to have to do the homework to even qualify for a round. 99% of the people who go out to raise money get rejected. This is not the same. I'm not saying that 99% of the startups fail. I am not saying that at all. A lot of people misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying 99% of the people who go out to raise money get rejected by investors. We want to help you understand what investors are looking for to gauge whether you're fundable or not. If you're not, you don't necessarily have to fail. You can still build your business with a different structure. This may not be fit for a venture capital structure. It may be better for a friends and family kind of investment. It may be better for a pure bootstrap startup. But we will help you understand the parameters that determine those factors. But you don't have to fail. Being rejected by investors does not mean failure. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody who has built a $40 million company without any outside financing. Then he went out to look for money. He raised $12 million, and the VCs came in, and they were creating havoc in the company. They wanted the company to go in a completely different direction than the founders wanted to go. So the founders basically kicked them out. They negotiated, and this case study is going to be published on the blog very shortly in October. You're very welcome to read it. And then after kicking these VCs out, today, this company is at a $200 million in revenue, and they are catering, the market has become very attractive, and they believe that they can get to $1 billion, and they don't have any outside investor. This is a wonderful situation. And I've talked to entrepreneur after entrepreneur who have been able to build companies with pure bootstrapping. And of course, we have lots of entrepreneurs who are raising money. If you qualify to raise money, we will help you figure out exactly how to frame your problem and frame your business so that investors do pay attention to you. We are going through financing rounds at the moment as we speak. So all of that is available to you. You just have to fit the right peg in the right hole. Don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. That's when failures happen. All right, now as far as the curriculum is concerned, we have a core curriculum and then we have an elective curriculum. The core consists of 7 modules. Those are bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. And then we have the elective modules where we do all the key trends of the current industry. So Web 3.0 and e-commerce, as I said, there are going to be 5 billion people on the internet by 2020. So web businesses, e-commerce businesses, online businesses in general are going to be big, are going to continue to be big for this decade. Cloud computing and business solutions is a very big category. We see lots of businesses in this category. We have a lot of success stories in this category as well. Outsourcing and consulting, the nuances of outsourcing and consulting are changing, but there are continuously opportunities for outsourcing and consulting businesses. Mobile and social apps is a big trend right now. That's something we see a lot of. Healthcare IT is a big trend. Online education is a big trend. Gaming is a big trend. All these areas we have specific elective modules on. Now, another point about these case studies and video lectures, I have recorded these video lectures for you. And I want to give you some background on how we arrived at those lectures and how we arrived at these modules, basically. So perhaps we started doing these online roundtables, exactly the same format as what you're seeing now. When we started, it was audio only. Now we have video as well. In 2008, in the fall of 2008. So as I said, we have our 100th roundtable coming up, and I have personally coached over 400 entrepreneurs in this mode. Plus, we have worked with a lot of companies in the premium program, in the private lounges as well. So we have a tremendous amount of knowledge of what kinds of issues early stage entrepreneurs are facing, what areas they need to work on, what frameworks they need to learn. And what we have done, this again has been going on for 6 years. I started doing the case studies of actually sitting down with successful entrepreneurs and interviewing them and understanding what have been their success factors since 2006. Actually, no, 2005. So that body of over 600 case studies are also part of this program. So you have the questions and the issues that the entrepreneurs are facing on one side, the young entrepreneurs, the early stage entrepreneurs, the first time entrepreneurs perhaps are facing on one side, and you have this tremendous body of case studies and wisdom that serious, successful entrepreneurs from all over the world have shared with us. And what we have done is created this curriculum at the confluence of the two. We know your issues, we know what you need to learn, and we know how these successful entrepreneurs have addressed those issues and solved those problems. So that is the 1 million by 1 million curriculum. And it's a combination of video lectures where I have synthesized the issues and synthesized the case studies. And we also make the entire set of case studies available to you as we deal with those issues. So you can listen to our video lectures and study, 4 or 5 case studies to get your full handle on the issue. This is effectively a very tight, efficient MBA program at $1,000 annual membership fee. And if you compare that with Harvard, for instance, Harvard is $100,000 a year, and Harvard does not teach you entrepreneurship, by the way. Okay, what you have in your screen right now is coverage of a deal that we have done recently. This is a partnership that we have with Persistent Systems. And Persistent Systems is about a $100 million plus outsourced product development company. And they have an excellent channel around the world, especially in North America. And in North America, they have 30 to 50 major account salespeople. So they have a very good penetration of the enterprise market, North American enterprise market. So let's say you are a company that is trying to sell into that enterprise market in North America. And you can be anywhere in the world. We can bring you into this partnership. And of course, there are parameters we have to see if you fit the framework of that model. But we can conceivably help you sell into North American enterprises through this channel where the Persistent sales force is going to be selling your product. Now, right now, we have 2 1 million by 1 million companies in this pilot. Those companies are Orangescape from Chennai, India, and Crowd Engineering from Pisa, Italy. So notice, neither of these companies are Silicon Valley companies. However, they have this powerful channel in Silicon Valley and in North America in general, through which they are going to market. And I can tell you, these companies are getting meetings with people who are incredibly difficult to reach, all the way from the CIO of Intel to the VP of customer service at Intuit. They are getting in front of very, very high level decision makers. And that is the power of the kind of business development relationships we can create for you, the kind of Silicon Valley channels that we can help you penetrate through the 1 million by 1 million program. This is a description of, this is a piece that I wrote on ReadWriteWeb, which is one of the media companies that we partner with. They're one of our media partners, and they syndicate my writings. And a lot of 1 million by 1 million companies get exposure to the ReadWriteWeb audience because of those columns that I write. And this is particularly a specific write-up about a company that we position to plug a gap in Google's App Engine product. And that's a very powerful positioning which was being brought to the audience in a very powerful way. Again, this is an example, a case study of how we help you get in front of the media and analysts and customers through our media relationships. This is a comment from one of our, an entrepreneur who was actually pitching at one of these roundtables. He came to my Facebook page and said, I wish we had access to 1 million by 1 million 2 years ago, because I had raised a large chunk of venture financing, angel financing, and I wish I knew what you were teaching then, because I basically made a lot of mistakes and I've run out of that entire financing. And folks, if you raise money and you do things in the wrong order and you finish that money and you don't reach your milestones, I can guarantee you, you're not going to raise another round of financing. So please do not waste your scarce resources on things that you're not supposed to be doing. We do partner, as I said, we work with a lot of incubators. MAD Incubator in Malaysia is one of our first incubator partner. At this point, we have, as I said, over 100 incubators around the world who are following our work and and are at different levels of discussion on partnerships. So Incubators is something that we are very interested in empowering all sorts of entrepreneurship development work efforts in regional entrepreneurship development efforts in different parts of the world is something that we are very interested in helping foster. So you're very welcome to supplement your resources with our resources and make your local regional efforts more powerful. So I would like to have a discussion with the folks in Kolkata who are assembled at IndusNet Technologies. Abhishek Rumta, CEO of IndusNet Technologies, is hosting this meetup in Kolkata, and I know Abhishek is a very active player in helping the Kolkata startup ecosystem find its maturity. And Rajiv Parekh is the 1 Million by 1 Million ambassador who has been very active organizing this meetup in Calcutta. So Abhishek, Rajiv, please come and discuss. By the way, if you have asked other questions while I was presenting, I haven't yet gone into the group chat to look up your questions. So I'd like to hear from the folks in Calcutta on what you're doing in terms of entrepreneurship development. And I will look up the questions that you've put on the group chat in the meantime and start answering them as well. So please feel free to use the group chat now. And at this point, the session is completely interactive and feel free to throw in whatever you want to discuss. Abhishek is saying, how can I get your inputs on taking key business decisions where experience matters? Abhishek, the best way to do it is through the 1 Million by 1 Million program. So just sign up as a premium member and you can get into these entire series of services. Basically, we have these roundtables, private roundtables, and you can come discuss your issues with me at the private roundtables, and I will be very happy to guide you on whatever area that you need help with. Business development relationships. So we will advise you on what business development relationships we can bring you into based on your business. I need to understand your business better to be able to create the right business development relationships. But business development as a value proposition is a 1 million by 1 million value proposition. So we do our best to connect the dots for you and help you build these business development relationships. Okay, folks, somebody please tell me what's going on in Calcutta. I have to tell you, I have a very special interest in Calcutta because that is where I was born and raised. And I am very interested in building a vibrant entrepreneurship ecosystem in Calcutta. So if you can help me figure out how I can assist you guys in becoming more successful, how 1 million by 1 million can assist you guys in becoming more successful and create maybe 100 1 million by 1 million entrepreneurs who can leverage all our channels and all our resources and become successful. There's nothing I would like more. So Abhishek, glad to hear that you'll be joining the program, and I look forward to working with you. And you're saying Kolkata ecosystem has just started picking up. It is still slow. Yes, I understand that. How can we speed it up? Do you have thoughts on how we can speed it up? Okay, Gerard, good to hear that. And Gerard, also in your incubator, you're very welcome to host meetups like this. You can get people around the table in the same room and put the project the slides and video on the screen. That's what our meetups incubator partners do. And you can organize meetups around the 1 million by 1 million roundtables every week. Basically, it helps to see these case studies in action, as you see me working with other people's businesses, you learn from that as well. And that's the feedback we get from the entrepreneurs. Yes, absolutely. Abhishek is saying people do not research their ideas well, so they need to be taught to do so here. Yeah. Why don't you, Abhishek, Ashish, Rajiv, why don't you guys make the meetups, the Calcutta meetups around these 1 million by 1 million roundtable to regular? We have the full framework in the premium program. If you can get them to join the premium program, they can have the entire framework. We have full content, full framework, everything. See, the problem I have with people's expectation is everything is going to be available for free. So we cannot give you everything for free because we are a business. If you're asking for content and workshops and everything to happen for free, that is not going to happen. At least we are not going to do that. We give you these roundtables for free. You're very welcome to use the roundtables. You're saying the time is a problem to attend at 8:30 p.m. Well, then, they can join the premium program. In that case, the premium program is self-service. You can listen to the videos, read the case studies, and work with the program from home anytime. That's basically a self-service program. Thank you, Ramki. That's helpful. Ramki is a premium member, and he's going through the material, and he says he finds it very, very useful. And also, Rajiv, Abhishek, they don't have to necessarily come to an office, or if you think meetups at 8:30 p.m. is a problem, if you can just get the word out and encourage people in Calcutta to follow the methodology and follow the program from home, they can just listen to it from home, right? 8:30 p.m. at home is not a problem. Abhishek says, I've met you once in an event and that you attended in Jadavpur, and once when one of my clients pitched to your VC firm. Okay. Abhishek, I will be in Calcutta in March, and when I'm in Calcutta, we will do something together. We will do a live event in Calcutta when I'm in Calcutta next in March, and we'll work with you to pull that together. But in the meantime, I really think that you should try to get more people following this program and accessing the resources. The kind of reach that we are providing into Silicon Valley, into the absolute depths of Silicon Valley, is very rare and very powerful. So it'll be very, very powerful for people from Calcutta that you're trying to drum up, that you're trying to waken up to use these resources. I will be in Calcutta the last 2 weeks of March. So those are my dates at this point. Anybody else in the audience who wants to discuss a specific geography that you're working on, or a specific issue that you need input on? Well, we'll be happy. Abhishek says, I definitely need the reach in Silicon Valley. I posted a question in Quora on this. No answers there. Surprising that I found it where I did not expect it. Again, reach into Silicon Valley is a very, very big strength of the program, the 1 million by 1 million program. You're most welcome to use our resources to penetrate Silicon Valley. Tim, are you? I know we have a Tim from the Washington Incubator. Is that you? I see a Tim in the room, and I would love to hear what you are what you're doing in Washington, in Tacoma, Washington, to drum up entrepreneurship. Also, we have not heard anything from Rakesh, who's in the room. If you could introduce yourselves, Tim, Rakesh, if you could introduce yourselves, that will be great. Ramki is a premium member. We have talked quite a bit to the folks in Calcutta. We've heard from Gerard. Gerard, also, please feel free to share what you're doing in Ireland, where you are, to drum up entrepreneurship. Looks like you have built a scene, and you know, perhaps we can also help you guys get further in your process. If you go to our website, 1m1m.sramanamitra.com, you will find a link called Incubators, where we describe a lot of different ways that we could help you. If you are running an incubator, or if you're working in an incubator, please make sure that your incubator is aware of these resources. You are in the idea search stage. And Rakesh, where are you located? At present, Paris, originally Mumbai. Okay. Rakesh, one pointer I want to give you, since you're looking for an idea, is the Vision India 2020 book. There are $45 billion business ideas in that book. And it's written as if we are set in 2020, we're sitting in 2020 looking back on building these businesses, and it steps through the strategic nuances of these businesses. So it's essentially a futuristic retrospective, but these are based on, it's essentially my notebook that I decided to publish. I don't have time to do $45 billion business ideas because I'm doing 1 million by 1 million. But if you like one of these ideas, you're very welcome to execute on it. And we have a module in 1 million by 1 million. And we can help you build on these ideas. Whichever project you decide to execute on, we can help you work through that process. Abhishek, thank you for coming. You're taking leave. Yeah, that's great. So folks, the upcoming roundtables are September 29th, October 6th, October 13th, October 20th, and October 27th. And our 100th roundtable is October 6th. This is going to be a slightly different format. We are going to have a dozen premium members come and share with you what their businesses are, what are they doing, and how they're using 1 million by 1 million. So we'll have press and all sorts of cool stuff in that roundtable. That is not going to be this format. Most of the other all the other roundtables are the same format where I work with entrepreneurs, but the 100th roundtable is going to be a special event, and we strongly encourage you to come to that. Rakesh, you want to work on the 3D movies idea in Vision India 2020. That sounds like a great idea. Very good. You can start working on it, and we'll do what we can to help you build on that idea. All right, folks. Anybody else? Any other questions? Otherwise, we're gonna get on with our days. Those of us in North America, it's the beginning of our day, particularly in the West Coast. So we have a lot of work to do still today. All right, looks like no other questions. I hope to see you next week at the same time, same place, September 29th at the free roundtable, and look forward to working with some of you at that session. Bye-bye, everybody. And also, if you have questions about the premium program, you can call Irina and talk to her by phone as well. Some of you have wanted to talk to somebody to ask questions about the premium program, and you're very welcome to do that by calling Irina, and we provide you with her phone number, which is 786-301-2456. Once again, it's 786-301-2456. 2456. Okay, that's it for today. Goodbye, everybody, and good luck. We'll talk to you next week.